All right, let me tell everybody what, because I've looked around and I haven't been able to find anyone who's espoused the same points as I'm about to show you. What that is the Reach, that province with Markarth in it. Remember, is a fortress. Now, if you pull up a map, I have multiple maps, but if you look at your map, you can see Dead Crone Rock, Hag Rock Redoubt, Valthoom, Cradlestone Tower, Lost Valley Redoubt, Karth Spire Camp, Bleakwind Bluff, Forest Skull Lookout, Sunder Towers, Blind Cliff. Did I already say Reagan Vault? Maybe. Deepwood, and Hag's End. That's all in Markarth, and um, they're all at Morin slash Nedic slash Old Nordic constructions, and that's cool. But if you look on your map, and I'm gonna have a map in the video, where it is, where they all are, you're gonna be able to see that Dead Crone Rock, Hag Rock Redoubt, Valthoom, Cradlestone Tower, and Lost Valley Redoubt are on they line the border of Hammerfell. And I have a map. I have a map in front of me here where I've marked every um, Atmoran slash Nedic slash Old Nordic construction in the province of Skyrim. And nowhere else do they have five um, building constructs. I'm gonna call them constructs. Five constructs that line the border of another province. That's weird. That's weird. So we got all these structures, right? So let's have a look at the locations. Let's have a look at where they are and see what we can find. So, as I said before, Dead Crone Rock, Hag Rock Redoubt, Valthoom, Cradlestone Tower, and Lost Valley Redoubt are all along the borders with Hammerfell. But what else do we have? We got Blind Cliff on the western side of the Karth River. But we also, on the eastern side, have Karth Spire Camp, another Nedic construction. I'm gonna stick with Nedic, guys. All right. Um, yeah, lost my train of thought now. On the west side of the Karth River, and on the bluffs that overlook the Karth River, you have Sundered Towers and Bleakwind Bluff, with Four Skull Lookout as well. Something is being defended. Something's here, and in the far north, we have Deepwood Redoubt and Hag's End. That's on top of the mountain near Dragon's Bridge, just southwest of Dragon's Bridge. What could they be defending? Something's being defended. So I started looking into it. And I got on the internet, and I've been poking around other knowledgeable lore people on Discord and the internet and the Reddit and around. And what I've been finding is, well, when I started looking into it, I started at the fall of the Dragon Cult. And for those who don't know, um, that's really officially over when I believe it was High King Harold, I believe, um, rooted out through siege, or really they all killed themselves, the defenders, at the Dragon Cult Temple at Forelhost, deep in the Rift, south of Riften. And that was the first era, the year 140. And so I started looking past that after that period of time. And sort of what I found is that there are three dwarven city-states in the Reach, and they're west of the Karth River. These being Arkenthomps, I'll have some text in the video probably. Arcing Thumbs, Neutronsel, which is Markarth, and Bethardums. Three city-states in the Reach, all functional around the time of the fall of the Dragon Cult. And as I kept digging into it, the Ethereum Wars. The Ethereum Wars are going to become increasingly relevant as we go forward. In the Ethereum Wars, right? Let's see here. It was fought between Argenthumps, Raldbethar, Mazalft, and Betharzel, which I believe is where the Ethereum Forge is located, but don't quote me on that. Now, in Skyrim, I did the mapping on this too, but I don't know if you're going to see it in the video. I don't have a picture of it. There are 8 city-states in total in Skyrim. Possibly 9. Haven't got there yet. Haven't really figured out what. Well, we don't really know a lot about how Dwemer culture in the first place. Is it a city-state? Is it just a fort? It's sort of up in the air, and like it's always really up in the air, you know. Anyways, fought between these 4 guys. And what we know about the Ethereum Wars is they were severely weakened after that, and after the Ethereum Wars was over, the High King of Skyrim, Geller, swooped in, took him out in 3 years. And I know what you're saying. I'm gonna stop you right there. I know what you're saying. What about Enchaundzel, Markarth, and Bethardumst? I know what you're thinking. What happened to them? And do you do you think Geller cared? Probably not. He just knew that the enemy was weak, and he was going after anyone who was Dwemer. So I'm not convinced he made a distinction of who was in there and who wasn't. He just set his sword on a weak foe and tried to take care of business, and he did. He did it pretty quick. 3 years. That's pretty quick as far as wars are concerned. Now, the question we gotta decide is, and that's regarding the 5 constructs. One being a tomb, that's Valtham. That line, Hammerfell. Dead Crone Rock, Hag Rock Redoubt, Cradlestone Tower, and Lost Valley Redoubt. These are the ones that are along the border of High Rock. Not High Rock, I'm sorry, Hammerfell. And are can be thought of in one of 2 ways, or both, depending on what you think. Because there's not really an answer. So I'm gonna give you 2 options. I'm gonna give you 2 options right now, and you can sort of decide for yourself what their intents are. Now the first one is, since the 3 city-states of the Dwemer are hunkered into the rocks, this was an attempt to surround their city. Even though they're underground, like, what's the point? I guess supplies, they gotta go out sometime to get food, or I guess they'll just eat the Falmer or something. Kind of gross. Or, those were meant to make sure they don't get out. Because keep in mind, this is like no one knows. There's like really nothing happening in Hammerfell right now. This is 200 years ish before Valandron goes flying across the continent and naming Hammerfell for all intents and purposes. Now, we don't know a terrible amount about Geller's conquests, but we do know he was successful and he did it pretty darn fast. Which is it's cool. People there's sources anyway within the lore that really praise his tactical skills and his prowess in battle. Now we can really attribute those things to his mass of fortifications. It seems not only what he was trying to do was hole up the Dwemer in the result of as the result of war, but it seems he was trying to make his make the entire region a fortress. Like the positioning, where things are and why is extremely crucial. We don't know what Geller knew about the Dunmer, or I'm sorry, the Dwemer, my mistake. But it seems like he was preparing for a siege himself. It sort of seems like he was he wasn't expecting to win. Moreover, he was expecting a Dwemer counterattack, as referencing Sundered Towers, Four Skull Lookout, and Bleak Bluff, as well as Karthspire Camp, which is bridging the rest of the Reach onto the Isle and onto the other side of the Karth River. That island in the middle of the Karth River, right next to Markarth. I'm sure you know about it. That's where the Blades Temple is. So let's look at this. Let's look at these places one at a time, right? First on the list we got this is Bleakwind Bluff. Now Bleakwind Bluff is on the west side, the east side rather, of the Karth River, up on the hills. You can look down. I'm using images I found off Google Images. I encourage you to go and look through these yourself, and you're gonna get an even better broader context than what's going to be solely being displayed on screen. So I think you should check it out. But what we got here is Bleakwind Bluff. It looks over the Karth River. It's basically a bit of a funnel to get into the thing, and it's a destroyed tower. I don't think all these Edmoran towers, Nedic towers, are sort of unfinished throughout the entire game. I guess they're meant to be like that because I haven't seen one tower that's rounded or has a roof. I don't know. Maybe go through ESO if you want something like that. But next we got the Blind Cliff. Now Blind Cliff is a cave as far as the game is concerned, but what's gonna be displayed on screen here is the towers, the exterior bit where you can see the extent of the exterior portion, which is two towers, a bridge, a pathway that leads inside the cave, and a pathway down. Now, imagine a battle there. Imagine dwarven constructs, spiders, spheres, centaurians, the dwarves themselves. Their constructs are gonna have a horrible time. Like a sphere, like being a droideka, rolling up that wooden platform there. One good swing with any weapon is gonna fling it off the mountain. It's gonna be gone, gone, done. This is an effective fortification. They're all effective fortifications. Next one here is Cradlestone Tower, which is one of these that's right near Hammerfell. You can look upon it, notice that it's more or less also like Bleakwind, to where it's a like a bottleneck sort of entrance, very easily defendable. You get your archers up on that wooden platform, wooden ramp thing right there. It'd be golden. Next one here is Dead Crone Rock. This is just the entrance. This is just a bit of it. Now, Dead Crone Rock is also one of the ones near Hammerfell, right on the triune border between Hammerfell, High Rock, and Skyrim right there. And this picture doesn't do it justice. You look at it yourself. Now, we got Deepwood Redoubt, which is all the way up north. We show the entrance here. What it's got, we got staircase leading up to the main entrance and a big platform. These are not only in highly defensible locations, but they seem to be built to repel enemies. Because the Nedic peoples were what they're best known for is their invasion all the way from Etmora, from High Rock to Morrowind down to Cyrodiil. They know how to attack, but they also know how to defense all stars. We got four skull lookout right here. Also on the east side of the Karth. What you're seeing right here is the entrance, and if you go through those doors right there, you'll be looking out on the Karth River and all that lay out before you. It's a watch. It's a watch position. Instead of building a tower, they just built that because they're already on top of a mountain that's not really heavily wooded, so they can see everything. They can see everything. And this is right near, um, gosh, what's the name? The one that starts with a B. You know the one I'm talking about. I've said it before. So they're really keeping an eye out. They're always on watch, constantly alert, waiting for enemy movements that may or may not have ever materialized. Now we have Hag Rock Redoubt. Now Hag Rock is right next, in the relative vicinity, pretty close to Dead Crone Rock. And this, I mean, you can, I mean, just look at it. You got the base here, and I'm not even sure that's the ground of the ground floor. There might be more we're missing here. All the more reason to look at it yourself. And you can see how it goes all the way up, all the way up. Imagine that battle, imagine that fight. You got to fight all the way up there. That's pretty tall. That's a long ways. It's gonna be an uphill battle for the enemy, and you can see how the archers have perfect positioning the entire time. Any Nedic archers are gonna have the enemy, whoever they are, Dwemer, etc., zeroed that entire battle. They're gonna be at a severe disadvantage. Right now we have this is another picture of Hag Rock Redoubt from a lower angle, and you can see the arches towers before you even get to it. This place is a fortress. Now we're looking at Hag's End, all the way north, right, west, southwest of Dragon's Bridge. And this place is another place just like the last place that's extremely defensible. They could be ready for anything. You can get archers on the walls. Start raining fire. It's crazy. An even better, more zoomed out picture of Hag's End. I mean, just imagine being a dwarf and that's your objective. Imagine it's fully stocked too. Imagine the garrison there is full. Like they've got everyone they need there. It's gonna be an uphill battle. Heavy casualties, at least. Staggering casualties. What else? We got Karthswire. This is an image of the camp that's down low on the river. And don't really pay attention to whatever the Forsworn are doing. They've made their base of operations there. But what we've really got is the what you call it, a bunker? That thing on the crest of the river. Now, if you ask me, that could probably be the base of some ancient bridge, ancient road that goes through the river or from the Markarth area onto the Blade. I'm just gonna call it the Blades Island, and into this place that you're seeing on your screen right here. Now, if they see any dwarven movement, probably Four Skull Lookout's already seen it, and they're probably gonna send more Nedic guys to reinforce that bridge and bottleneck them to keep them off mainland Nordic Empire, sort of. Now we got Lost Valley, and you can, I mean, same as the last, same as all the others, massive ones like this. Uphill battles. That's really what they're pushing right here. Uphill battles, lots of archer, lots of archer opportunity right there. Markarth's really got it going on. I mean, just look, just look and be amazed. Imagine attacking that. You ain't going nowhere. You're not you're not even probably getting up those first flight of stairs there. They've got you zeroed. From the moment you set foot in the vicinity, they know you're there. Another picture. Another picture downward. I mean, waterfalls, steep things, lots of ledges. It's terrible. Same picture. No, Reagan Vault is something different. Reagan Vault is a city. It's got a dragon priest in it. You know it's something different. You can see the jogger coming at you. Imagine that's like 100 Nedic people. Ancient Nords. Like jogger before they were jogger yet. That's exactly what it should be. No, this is between High Rock and Blind Cliff. This is something that's worth defending. It's a center of power. That's why there's a dragon priest there. It's something that you're gonna want to defend. It's the center of power in Markarth for the Nedic people at the time. It's the regional capital, just like Markarth is for the Reach today. This was their Markarth. They're not gonna let the thing go without a fight. It's a straight run from here to the stairs and then up the stairs to the entrance. No cover. They're probably gonna make it fight in formation anyway. I don't know anything about dwarven combat skill when they've exhausted their things. Like dwarven centurions are are at a severe disadvantage with everything I've displayed so far. It's a given. This the fortresses in the Reach were made to combat slow moving automata. Take those and a lot of them are on those cliff faces, the cliff sides. Like I said way earlier, one more hit, like if a dwarven sphere is rolling and it takes a good hit from anything, it's going flying. Like think about it realistically. If a dwarven sphere is rolling and you hit it in the sphere while it's rolling, it's going off. It's like an oversized golf ball flying down hundreds of feet, maybe into the river, maybe on the cliff base. It's done. It's gone. Home run. Hole in one. Next, we got Sundered Towers. Sundered Towers is directly east of modern day Karthweston, and it's also a bit of a you can see the same tropes. You can see the stairs, you can see the platforms where you could house archers, and how even if that broke, and you can sort of see the same thing with Fourskull Lookout and Bleak Bluff, to where they've got that bottleneck, that first bottleneck area, and places for the ranged infantry to shoot down. And even after all that fails, they've got the tower itself that can be fought for and be taken without not without casualties, ranging either from the tens. Incredibly strong defensive position. This was made to not only hold somebody back, but push them back. It's almost if the entire purpose of their constructs was to not only put up a barrier, but kill as many people or shut down as many robots as they could. It's crazy. I want you to have a look. I want you to make your own conclusions. But I think we've really got something here with Geller's invasion of the Reach after the Ethereum Wars. So after all that, please like, favorite, subscribe. All the good things that everyone else tells you to do. If you like what you see. Good day.